Apparently, there's a massive nursing degree scheme which led to a whole bunch of fraudulent nurses. Now, it's a couple different ways in which we can slice this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the first way that we can slice this is, well, let's just deep dive a little bit into the article, and then we gonna mine it out, right? So it said more than 2,800 people may be working as nurses under false pretenses after allegedly buying a fake diploma for between $10,000 and $15,000 from a massive Florida-based scheme recently busted by the federal investigators. State and federal authorities are now working to track down the alleged fraudulent nurses and in some cases immediately annulling their licenses. Last week, Department of Justice announced charges against 25 people in 5 states connected to the alleged scheme. Investigation, codenamed Operation Nightingale, found evidence that 25 defendants worked to sell more than 7,600 fake diplomas along with transcripts between 2016 and 2021. That's 5 years. That's a 5-year window. All right, let's mine it out a little bit more. Making over $100 million in the process. Fraudulent diplomas and transcripts were allegedly issued from three accredited Florida-based nursing schools: Siena, Sacred Heart, and Broward County and Palm Beach School of Nursing in Palm Beach County. So let me just mine this out. It said fraudulent diplomas and transcripts were allegedly issued from 3 accredited Florida-based nursing schools. So basically, they issued false diplomas from real schools. That's a finesse. That's a heck of a finesse. Let's continue. The 3 schools are now closed. 25 defendants each face up to 20 years in prison. Oh, that's a long time. 20 years. That's 2 decades, man. 20 years ago, I was just getting married and getting started. I got a daughter that's 14 years old. Man, that's a whole lifetime. I didn't even think I would live to be 20 years old. It's a long time to be spending eating oodles of noodles. Healthcare fraud is nothing new to South Florida. Shout out to my Floridians that's finessing the game. As many scammers see this as a way to earn easy, though illegal money. What's disturbing is over 7,600 people around the country with fraudulent nursing credentials who are potentially in critical healthcare roles treating patients with a fake diploma and transcript. An unscrupulous aspiring nurse can qualify to take the National Nursing Board exam. If they pass the exam, they can become licensed nurses and get a job in healthcare setting. Federal authorities reported that of the 7,600 people that are allegedly fake diplomas, around 30%, 37% more than 2,800 people passed the exam. And so a lot, only a third of y'all actually passed the exam even after you got the fake documents. So you spent $10,000 to $15,000 purchasing the documents. And then we got a bunch of people that's out here treating people and putting their hands on people and having their care and their life in somebody else's hands that's not qualified to do so. That's bad. Many went on to get jobs. Deplorable. Authorities, this is the biggest part. Authorities are now tracking down those nurses. Some of the questionable nurses were employed at Veteran Affairs hospitals in Maryland and New York, and a hospital in Georgia, and a skilled nursing facility in Ohio, among other places. Late last week, a Delaware State Board of Nursing annulled the licenses of 26 people working as nurses after obtaining allegedly fake degrees. Monday, reporters in Georgia reported that there are 22 people working as nurses in the state with alleged fake diplomas. 22 people on January 17th requesting that they voluntarily surrender their licenses within 30 days. As of January 30th, none had done so. What do y'all think that this is? Come on home to Jesus. Washington State's Nursing Care Quality Assurance Commission announced it had identified 150 applicants using credentials from the alleged scheme. Of the 150 people, 7 had their licenses rescinded, 4 applicants were denied, 62 were in legal limbo, and the remaining 77 under investigation. That's bad. That's very, very bad. That is very, very horrible. So, what is the lesson that we're learning from this? We don't take shortcuts. Not over here at the Bag Chasers. A lot of people hit me up, and I don't even, this is not even egregious how people hit me up and they ask me questions about how it is that they can take the shortest path to success. whether they can just quickly go through a boot camp. How can I avoid having to go to school? With the amount of effort and the amount of money that you wind up spending actually trying to do the thing that's illegal, you can actually spend the time and you can have your stuff actually legit to where you don't have to worry about anything. One of the reasons why I feel so comfortable talking the way that I talk online, let me blow myself up a little bit because I always like to give myself props. One of the reasons why I feel so comfortable talking the way that I talk online is because I have no skeletons in my closet and I've done everything the right way. I don't have to worry about a fake license. I don't have to worry about a PPP loan. I don't have to worry about ever losing my corporate position because I schemed and scammed on my resume or I sent in fake documents or any type of stuff. We don't worry about that type of stuff. And so I'm free. You would not believe what it feels like to have to or to not have to worry about anything looking over your shoulder, nobody kicking in your door, not getting arrested. I ain't got to worry about no skeletons. I ain't got to worry about every single day you on a job, you scared. You know how they used to do it in the commercial, in the little in the cartoons. You scared, you worried. It is incredibly freeing to live your life like an open book and not have to worry about anything coming back to you or anybody kicking down your door or anybody giving you a problem or anybody kicking you off the job or you getting arrested or you getting your license revoked. You've now based and made your whole life based off of whatever it is that you've done illegally and you've got away with it for an extended period of time. And so now, because you thought you got away with it, you started to get more comfortable. And the minute that you get comfortable, your door get kicked in, your license get revoked. More importantly, let's look at the ethical standards that we are having as a community, right? And as a community of people, you have to start to question why is it that we always got to do stuff illegally and get shortcuts? And I know this is not applied to just the black community. That's not what I'm necessarily talking about. I'm talking about as a community of people within the United States of America. Why did everything got to be a finesse? Why everything got to be a scheme? Why everything got to be a scam? I mean, from an ethical perspective, from a moral, like you got somebody's life in your hands. You willing to put somebody else's life on the line and in danger just so you can get a bag? Don't answer that question. I know some of y'all is going to answer it the wrong way. Don't even answer that question. Think about what we just said. You're willing to put somebody else's life on the line just so you can continue to get a bag? I know you will. You do it every single day. You don't care nothing about your brother. You don't care nothing about the people that you surround yourself with. And let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to say, oh, it's the man's fault. It's the system's fault. I heard somebody say online the other day, as it pertains to this specifically, and this is one of the reasons why it was important for me to address it. I heard somebody say online the other day, and they said, you should need a degree to be able to do it as long as you can do the job well. Where they do that at? When did we start qualifying ourselves based off of what we think and not based off of the standards? I've always leaned into this. Whenever I'm trying to question whether or not it makes sense for me to go and do something, I always ask myself on the other end of the spectrum, would I want somebody doing something for me that wasn't qualified to do so? When we go out and we get contractors and we buy a house and we get our inspectors, we want people that are truly good at their job. Unless you are a person that habitually line step and cut corners, and we call that, excuse my language, nigger rigging. You know how it is. You're going to tap into the dude that's down the street and he going to put it together just enough for you to be able to get by. You're going to take it to the hood mechanic because he been doing it for a long time and I know he can get it. I like my stuff insured. I like to be able to pull the receipts and actually write it off as a expense for my business, and I don't have to figure out how I can pay you in cash so we can pay you under the table. Man, that's nigga stuff. That stuff that should have died way back in the 80s and the 90s. We gonna have to figure out how to do stuff the right way. No more cutting corners. No more trying to spin the block, trying to get it for the cheap price. Every time you do business with somebody, you trying to get the hookup. Hey, give me the black discount. We brothers. Well, if you was my brother, then you would be willing to pay full price the same way that you don't ask for a discount when you go to all of these other stores and they overcharge you. I charged you a fair price and you still don't want to pay it because you want the hookup. I can't, you know what I hate? I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can't stand when somebody send me an email, and that's why I don't even check I filter through my emails. There's certain emails I check because I get them on my phone. I get the alerts and I look at it and I look at the subject and I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna let somebody else take care of that. I'm gonna let somebody else take care of that. Because people will hit me up and they say, Anton. Now keep in mind, I'm overbooked. My schedule is already being scheduled out through April. I don't need the money. I don't need the resources. I got sponsors coming out of my earlobes. Shout out to Tej Hanley and the Alpha Juice Company. Make sure y'all tap into the Alpha Juice Company. The discount codes is down in the description for y'all to be able to tap into that product. Do not order unless you are using a discount code. It is a phenomenal product. Shout out to the Alpha Juice Company. I have sponsors come out of my earlobes. There are people literally waiting for a sponsor to fall off because I will not have too many products at one time in order to ensure that I'm not overwhelming the people and it's just don't become a sponsor. Like I actually want to add value to people. And then somebody will send me an email and say, hey man, how much is it to sponsor my company? And so, whoever it is answering the email, they'll give them the price because I got a price sheet and a price list. And my prices is like way more than fair, especially considering the value that I give to people. And they say, oh man, can you give me the hookup? I said, Rita, delete the email immediately. Delete the email immediately, because anybody that is sitting there asking me for a discount should not be doing business with me in the first place, because the value that you get as a result of doing business with me more than compensates for what it is that you spend. And you're going to make 10 times on your money when you spend money with me. I'm going to make sure of it because that's the type of business person that I am. I've always done good business. I've always done fair business. I've never, ever, even on a coaching calls, I don't charge people what I charge my corporate clients because I want to continue to add value into the people. And one of the things, right, and I always evaluate every single year, well, Anton, are you going to charge more? Are you going to raise the prices based off of inflation? Are you going to raise the prices in the Patreon? No, I've left them the same since I've started the Patreon, even for my renters. The people that rent out of my properties, you know why they've never moved out? Because I'm more than fair. I treat them like humans. I treat them better than they would be if they went somebody else, than they went somewhere else. I've never, ever in my life had a tenant leave my properties, ever. Part of it is how I vet effectively. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I got videos in there on how it is that you need to look at your real estate strategy and how you vet tenants effectively. But I've never had anybody ask me for a reprieve, a discount. As a matter of fact, they over-deliver and they make sure that they pay me ahead of time because they know that they got the phenomenal deal and it's nowhere else that you can get it. I've never raised the prices of rent. From the time that you get in there to the time that you leave, the price stay the same, and I never raise the price based off of what's happening in the economy. I'm just more than fair because I got more than enough, and I'm not greedy, and I'm not that type of landlord. And I'm not the type of person to do business in a negative way. And so as a result, why would you then try to overstep and use me? Because we all use each other, but don't misuse me, right? You use me, I use you. It's transactional. We both benefit as a result of it. But why would you misuse me? I don't misuse people. Every person that has ever traveled to Detroit, do an interview, fly to them, they fly to me, they get the best treatment. I treat you the same way that I would want to be treated. You stay in the best hotels, you get the suites, you get the executive corner suite, you get the penthouse, you get the best flights. I don't put people on. It's nothing wrong with Spirit. Don't get me wrong. But because I don't travel on Spirit, and it's not that I wouldn't, I have before. I actually think it's a halfway decent airline, especially for whatever it is that you're trying to get off. If you need to get over there, then get over there for the right price, right? But my point is that since I haven't traveled on Spirit for a long time, I'm not going to put you on a flight that I haven't taken in a recent amount of time. Because it's not that it's not a bad airline, but it's just that I want you to experience something that I know is going to be ideal because I've been regularly going through this thing. And so I treat you the way that I would want to be treated. I treat my neighbor the way that I want to be treated. Why are we so Why are we so dedicated to trying to get the hookup? You get more by doing business the right way. Every single person that I do business with, we wind up doing business again and again and again and again. And then we wind up doing bigger deals, and then we wind up putting together other businesses. And then it manifests itself in ways in which we never even planned to in the first place. But it's just because you're a good person, you got good energy, and then you lead with or be the example that you would want to be treated like. We got to stop taking shortcuts. We got to stop trying to get the quick degree, try to just get our foot in the door. That's why we always at the bottom of the totem pole. You just want to be associated with the company. That's the truth. You just want to say that I work here. No matter how much money you make, don't matter how high you could have went, don't matter the amount of dedication that you actually put into it to just get your foot in the door, you could have actually been going up the ladder. And so when people ask me a question, Anton, should I take this? Should I take that? I say you can. But if it were me, this is what I would do. A, B, C, D. Let me show you how it is that you can get this B, A, G. Let me show you how to get a bag. Let me show you how to look at it from a long-term perspective. Let me show you how you can then pour into your family from a long-term perspective, because I've done it. And the minute that we get out of this mentality that we're going to cut corners and we're going to take shortcuts and we just want to do it. And I need to hurry up and get to the bag. Life is long. I don't know who told you that life is short, but life is long. It is very long. And the thing that you do today is going to determine how much more enjoyable life is going to be tomorrow. And the minute you start looking at yourself like a king, you're going to start making better long-term decisions instead of shortcuts based off of your emotions on trying to do things that's not even conducive for your lifestyle for people that don't care anything about you. It's a different type of mindset that you have to condition yourself to believe in order to be successful. It's the same mindset that I take into every single thing that I do. And so at that point, you will grow. You will be exceptional. You will be great. I don't want a doctor or a surgeon or a neurosurgeon or a nurse or anybody in any profession or a lawyer. I don't want a jailhouse lawyer representing me in court. I want somebody who's proven, who's actually gone to law school, who's taken the steps. One of the reasons why school is so important is it actually substantiates that you're willing to go through what it takes necessary in order to be successful. It's a barrier to entry. Once you get in there, you got to prove that you're actually worth your salt. It's not just to teach you, it's to give you the fundamentals, and it's actually to be able to separate the ones that's supposed to be there from ones that's just wanted to get in there. If it was for everybody, if it was easy, everybody would do it, but it's not. And that's why you see people taking liberal arts courses and they want to take the basket weaving degrees because they just want to say that I got a degree. They just want to say that I'm an alumni. They just want to say that I went to that school. They not actually trying to make nothing of themselves. They was just there because that's what everybody else was doing. And so now they don't want to be left behind, and it's a Me Too culture. At some point, you're going to have to stand out on your own, figure out who it is that you are, work hard, grind, hustle, and leave this earth in a better space had you not been here. And it starts up here. It starts with the mentality. It starts with throwing away that shortcut mentality, always asking for discounts, trying to be cheap, never tipping, never taking care of the people that take care of you on a regular basis, not acknowledging, not saying thank you, not saying, I see what you're doing over there, fam. I appreciate you. Sometimes people just want a simple thank you. Sometimes people just want a simple thank you. You wake up every day on the wrong side of the bed. You tear up everything in front of you, and then you expect for somebody to be able to go out of their way and go over and above because it's customer service. Stop. Stop. Sow good seeds. Have a good yield. That's the lesson. So let's deep dive into this. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Alpha Juice Company, you know what it is. The link is in the description, and don't order it without putting a discount code in first. Let me read a couple of these super chats. Purple Haze says, what up, though? Yesterday's stream was so fire, and I emailed you to become stop the old me and become the best version of me. Salute to you and the Bag Chasers. I look forward to the Zoom call. Can't wait to kick it with you, Purple Haze. Thank you for the 10 ball and supporting the platform. You are much appreciated. My dog, Michael Jones is in the building. Michael Jones says, good morning, Anton. Today is no fumbling the bag Friday. My respect for you has gone to another level from last night's show. to the interview with Jason Whitlock. You are in another atmosphere. And guess what? Guess what, Mike? Let me give you a little bit of secret. I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. It is just, I thank everybody that's been with me for the last couple of years and those that have been with me on my other channel even longer than that. Thank you, Michael Jones, for contributing to the platform, because we are going to the moon. We are going out of this world, and it is going to be absolutely awesome. If you've seen my rise, if you've seen my evolution and how I communicate and my comfortability and my confidence as I continue to have these conversations with you online, then you know I'm only getting started. I honestly believe, and I never set out to do this, and I want to get into this whole D.L. Hughley, Jason Whitlock, Boyce Watkins conversation. I never honestly expected to even be going down certain paths. I never even looked at myself as even like a motivational speaker type of guy. I never looked at myself as like a pastor type of guy. I honestly believe that I can be one of the number one motivational speakers in the world. I know ET saying that he about to start retiring and he trying to promote other people and put other people in place in order to. I think I'm the next up. I see it. I am the next person to be standing in front of you at a conference, helping you to understand and taking it to the next level, even beyond what ET was giving you. I'm saying it right here, right now, on Friday, February 3rd, 2023. I am going to take over everything. I am going to be on everything. If you are here right now, you are on the ground level of what we're witnessing to be greatness. I'm telling you, you are on the ground level. I was praying to God this morning and he was telling me, he said, Anton, it's going to be crazy. The ride is going to be wild. The ride is going to be wild. You are going to be exceptional. You are next up.